6 o'clock. We'll go ahead and get started this evening. I'd like to welcome everyone to this evening's meeting. We call the roll, please, Serena.
Mr. Holloway?
Here.
Mr. Matheson? Mr. Payne?
Here.
Ms. Reese? Here. Mr. Robinson?
Here.
Ms. Perkins? Here.
Okay, at this time, we'll all stand for a moment of silence, and I would like to ask the VFW if you will collectively lead us in the pledge to the flag in a minute. Pledge the flag, please.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Again, I'd like to welcome everyone tonight that's here. We're glad to see you. And at this time, we'll move into our public comment section, audience participation, and it looks like we have a forum for discussion of a junior ROTC program at Johnson County High School. It's sort of ironic that we saw this because actually we had this discussion this past Saturday at our board retreat as well. So,
Good evening, everyone. Thanks for letting me speak tonight. Some of you may know me. My name's Dan Parsons. I'm the commander of the VFW post in Mountain City. Johnson County High School graduate. Graduated in class of '79. John was one of my school teachers. So, John and I have been talking a little bit about the ROTC program in the last few months. I brought it up to the membership of our post last week. I put it on my agenda. I said, well, you know, it's not my decision. I need to bring it up to our members and get their input and see what they want to do. It was overwhelmingly support from the members of the post. We are probably, if not the number one fastest growing post in the state, we're probably close to the fastest growing one in the nation. I'm not sure. I know we're over 130% membership so far this year. We're only halfway through our recruiting year. The state commander actually sent out a message a couple weeks ago commending the Mountain City Post as being, one, the only post to be above 100% membership, especially to be at 130%. We're the only post in the state that is qualified and checked all the boxes to be an All-American post and to be the Tennessee All-State Post. So we're doing a lot of great things in the community. Most of our newer members that we've recruited the last couple of years, that since I moved back after retiring, stayed in North Carolina. I moved back a few years ago. My wife and I, she's president of the auxiliary, so we're both very involved with the post. And since that time, we've been recruiting really hard. Not anything against the post previously, but I just didn't understand why we didn't have a lot going on at the post in membership. And they're like, well, people just don't want to join. I'm like, I find it hard to believe that we're coming off the longest war in our nation's history and a county that has more veterans per capita than any other county in the state, why we don't have a large number of veterans. So I'm like, have you just gone out and asked them? So that's what we did. We've been recruiting really, really hard. We go to all sorts of events throughout the year. We're really involved with the Honor Guard as well, the American Legion, and we've got the vast majority of our members are very high ranking and mainly all retirees. All of my officers in the post are either senior enlisted retirees or commissioned officer retirees, all of us having 25 to 30 years military experience, and all of us want to give back. So we are very, very interested in supporting the ROTC program at Johnson County High School, and anything we can do to push that along and help and assist in doing that. Anything from recruiting, mentoring, and anything else with the students, we would love to be a part of that. So anything we can do, we just wanted you to know that we're here to help. All right? Thank you.
thank you.
Thanks.
All right, I believe we are to the point where we have our school presentation, and this month it's Johnson County High School. It's middle school, excuse me, middle school. So you guys have the floor.
So we want to appreciate everything that you do for us and for making our future brighter. And so we have some people.
Oh, thank you.
It's your sister one.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Where's thank you? Are you sure? Sure.
Ready? All right. I'm Dr. Sherry Long, and I've joined the middle school as principal this school year. Michelle Arney is our assistant principal, and she's been at the middle school for, in that role for the past 10 years. The middle school was built in 1976, and the new wing was added in 2008. And Johnson County Middle School currently has 305 7th and 8th graders. We have lots to offer our students. The middle school is the bridge between elementary school and high school. And students are provided opportunities to explore clubs, participate in sports, and begin to build those long-lasting friendships. The middle school's state report card is a B. We are super proud of this achievement, and it's due to the hardworking faculty and staff and the dedication that they give our students each and every day. Some teacher facts. The total distance that teachers travel one way each day is over 330 miles. And the total years of teaching in our building is over 400 years.
Wow.
The teachers who work at the middle school are there because they love it. And one teacher even said, as you can, I don't know if you can see it or not, said that the middle school is Johnson County's best kept secret. So. The most important part of the middle school are our students, and you just witnessed 2 of them there. We all do what we do each day for those students, and everyone knows that you gotta have a little fun along the way. So we have dances, and we have dress-up days, and we have field trips to ETSU for STEM workshops, and we have classroom hands-on activities. It's not a middle school, though, go to the next slide, without your pep rallies. And a mascot. And the 8th graders have maintained, I'm sure they're proud to claim the possession of the spirit stick for each pep rally. We encourage students to get involved and to stay involved in something during the school year, and there are several opportunities for them that we can provide during the school day where they don't have to stay after school. The robotics club meets during the skinny period. We have one of their club members here tonight. Amber Price, Kim Laws, and Mr. Alex Pace are the sponsors for this group of students. And as of today, there are 10 members who are working on robots for a spring competition. April Guy is one of our ELA teachers. She sponsors a book club during the 4th period rotation. And Miss Guy was awarded for the 2nd time a $30,000 grant from the Mooneyhan Family Foundation. And this grant purchased the books for the club, an outside learning area with picnic tables, and a trip to Biltmore Estate that's coming up in May, and other items that our students have needed. Last year, I think it was a Chromebook card, and so many other items that $30,000 can pay for. And our student council, 2 of them you saw tonight, They are sponsored by Miss Arnie, and they are the Johnson County Middle School ambassadors. Their imagination and creativity make those who are being appreciated during the You Trust Appreciation Days feel special. And they sure did make me feel special today. These students are strong leaders in our school, and they help to set the example for others. We offer band and chorus during middle school. Students may choose to join either of these musical groups. The band has approximately 32 middle school students, and our choir makes up about 1/3 of our student body. Both the band and the choir perform during the school year, and in fact, the spring concert, mark your calendar, for the choir will be May 13th at 7 p.m. in the high school gym. Every school has to have a yearbook, and with the help of Susan Edwards, our students work hard to create a memorable yearbook for their friends, and sales are going on right now. They have gone down $5, so $35 this year. Slide 12. New this year is our College and Career Center, led by Miss Lana Smith, and she's here with us tonight. The College and Career Center allows students to find their true place in life, discover their personality type, and learn about jobs and college opportunities. And when that gets up and running full force, you need to come and see it. It's a room to behold. Sports is huge on the Hill. Being a Longhorn, as you all know, is an honor. We offer our students opportunities to play volleyball, football, basketball, cheerleading, baseball, and softball. Our football team finished the season 6-3. The varsity volleyball team finished the season at runner-up and were tournament champs after playing 11 hard-fought games. The junior varsity volleyball team ended as season and tournament champs. Basketball just finished up. We were unable to get the basketball team records, but both the boys and the girls teams had a lot of support from the community, and they showed great improvement each game. Softball and baseball has just started, and we're looking forward to a great season from them. And what is a school without the help and support of great parents? We want and need our parents to be involved and work with us side by side in making our middle school the best school for our students. Our parent advisory committee is amazing. They're always looking for ways to help. They sponsor things like game night. And this year it was game night in the dark. They've sponsored 2 students to go to Washington, D.C., which is the 8th grade field trip that's taken every year. And they ask me all the time what they can do to provide for our teachers and their classrooms. And our PAC president is here tonight, Ms. Sarah Perkins. We also are supported by the Hill family. They sponsor the Student of the Month that's printed in the Tomahawk each month for us, and we're very appreciative of that because the kids love to see their picture in the paper. If you are a parent to a middle school student, please consider joining us every second Tuesday of the month at 6 o'clock. And then finally, you're invited February 22nd from 5:30 to 6:30. Miss Artie and I are going to do some question and answers for parents. We want you guys to know about things that are important to your students, but that are also dangerous, and so we want to talk about things like vapes, Snapchats, cell phones, discipline, school scores, safety, bullying, anything that our parents have had questions about. We want to explain and talk to you about those. Any of you who have questions, you can send them to me prior to that night, and we can get those questions. We'll be ready for those questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Long. Moving on to our consent agenda. Is there any member who wishes to pull anything from the consent agenda? If not, I will entertain a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
We have a motion by Mr. Payne. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Second by Mr. Holloway. Any further discussion? Hearing none, call the roll, please.
Mr. Holloway,
Yes.
Mr. Payne,
Yes.
Ms. Reese,
Yes.
Mr. Robinson.
Yes. Item number 5 is our report of our student board member, Ms. Vanessa Perkins.
This month I would like to highlight the health science opportunities at the high school.
With the CTE programs, the school offers so much to students. One of the classes they offer is the CNA class, which allows students to get their CNA certification and be able to get jobs in places like the nursing home. A second opportunity that they have is students are offered clinicals where they can go to local offices and observe different professions in the medical field, including dentists, therapists, nurses, and more. A third option is the EMT class, which is a brand new class that allows students to get their EMT license and work at places like the Johnson County Rescue and EMS. Additionally, the health science programs allow students to be involved in blood drives, host of competitions, anatomy labs, simulators, healthcare career exploration, and learning different skills. One teacher was quoted saying, "Our classrooms are similar to the workplace environment. We treat our students as if they are healthcare providers. In order to provide exceptional patient care, healthcare professionals must have high standards, and that's what we expect from our students." Our students have the opportunity to complete internships, complete certifications in courses in CNA and EMT, as well as, I also forgot, EKGs, and then compete at state and international levels with hosts of leadership conferences. We are proud to be a small part of the future of healthcare. Here are just some pictures to highlight the different activities that students are involved in, including our HOSA trips. Some important dates for this month is February 9th through 10th is a robotics signature event that's happening in Bristol. February 17th is a robotics fundraiser breakfast. February 15th is a Tennessee Promise meeting for seniors at the high school. February 22nd is the last day for yearbook purchases. And February 26th is a FAFSA Frenzy meeting. I would also lastly like to congratulate FFA for their competitors and their amazing performance last week, and wish you a happy Valentine's.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And before we move on, we have a very exciting announcement that Mr. Dunham wants to share in regards to our amazing student board member. So, you're welcome.
So, today during lunch, Miss Rebecca Boyd, she's one of our math teachers at the high school. She's our chairperson for the National Honor Society, and she's on medical leave this semester. But she called me during lunch, and Miss Lori Isaac, secretary, came out and said Miss Boyd needs to meet immediately. And so I spoke with her, and she was so excited. She wanted to call me and tell me that she was notified that our student school board rep, Vanessa Perkins, has been awarded the 2024 National Honor Society Scholarship semifinalist. So as being the semifinalist, she will receive $3,200 per year scholarship money, and it's my understanding that because she's a semifinalist, she can advance to the final round. And Miss Boyd told me that that's the first ever Johnson County High School student we've had to receive that award, and we've had plenty of them apply every year, and she's on the one we've had. So congratulations, Vanessa.
We wanted to go. Let's give her another round of applause. It's always nice when we can highlight and know that our kids compete at that national level too. It really says something. And I will say this, just as a side thought, I saw the FAFSA Frenzy at the end of the month, and I thought to myself, I am so glad I only have to fill that thing out one more time. All right, moving on. Item number 6, 5-year plan. All teachers will complete PD survey, professional development survey, and these results will be used to schedule summer professional development opportunities. Dr. Simcox.
Yes, and this survey actually went out day before yesterday. Angie sent that out to all of our staff. This helps us guide and determine what we will use for professional development in the summer at teachers' request, and teachers also send in things like they would like to present. So that's what we're currently doing. So we thought that was perfect to spotlight.
Thank you. Moving on, item number 7, approve the proposed school calendar for Johnson County Schools for the 2025-26 school year. Dr. Simcox.
Yes, and as you know, we do the school calendar 2 years in advance. I think parents really like that we've done that over the past few years because it gives you
sort of an idea of when you can, and our staff, when you can schedule vacations, you know, when's break's going to be. So I do think that that's a great thing that the board has allowed us to do, is to do it 2 years in advance. Something a little different that we put out there this year to vote, and we send this out and all of our staff votes, and this, which was draft 2, was the one that was voted on. 81% wanted draft 2. One of the things a lot of systems do across the state and across the nation is they have time for professional development during the school day. You know, a lot of times we do teacher academies after school. You know, if an employee has a young child, it's sort of sometimes hard for them to get to come to those academies. The school systems that do this really have seen an increase in their test scores and their achievement, because it's allowed the schools to have research-based PD for them during the day. Students would come half a day, 11:30, and then the other half of the day, our teachers will be doing guided professional development. It's not a teacher work day, it's a professional development day. So the supervisors will be actually determining, and the principals together, you know, a PD schedule. Calendar 1, the only thing that was different in calendar 1 and calendar 2 is that the PD days wasn't in calendar 1. So it was overwhelmingly that the teachers really, really want this. And another difference, and it's something that the principals have been asking for, this comes guided from the principals, is parent-teacher conferences. A lot of systems do those where students come a half day and the parent-teacher conferences are in the evening. And that was on there. So this was, again, voted, 81% voted for this draft, and that's our recommendation. And again, it comes from guidance from the principals and from teachers.
Still does include the 13 stockpile days.
Includes the 13 stockpile days.
I'm assuming that's still an overwhelming.
Yes. And that one was, I want to say, like 94% wanted to keep the stockpile days. And I will just sort of make a note, I did receive a letter back from the commissioner in regards to the waiver, which I had asked, could our days be waived for the week of January the 15th, because it was a state of emergency across the state. That waiver was denied. Yes. However, I have heard that there is a bill out there that someone has put to make that a state of emergency across the state of Tennessee. So hopefully that bill will pass.
All right, we've heard the explanation from Dr. Simcox of the changes and the proposals in the 25-26 school calendar. At this point, I'll entertain a motion for approval.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make that motion, please.
All right, we have a motion by Mr. Holloway. Do I have a second?
Yeah, I'll second.
Second by Mr. Payne. Any further discussion? Hearing none, call the roll, please.
Mr. Holloway?
Yes.
Mr. Payne?
Yes.
Ms. Reese?
Yes.
Mr. Robinson?
Yes. Rob, I'm hearing
Okay.
there's some feedback up here. There, that's better. Thank you. All right, moving on. Item number 8, approve the updated school calendar for Johnson County Schools for the 24-25 school year. Dr. Simcox.
Yes. When we were meeting with principals and we saw the overwhelming majority, and they talked to their staff, they said, can we start this next year with the PD days? Because again, remember, we approve our calendar 2 years in advance. So this is just to change next year's calendar, which would include those professional development days built into the school day, plus the parent-teacher conference that's built in. Still has the 13 stockpile days.
Hearing the explanation of the amendment to the 24-25 school calendar, I'll entertain a motion for approval.
Yeah, I'll make a motion to approve that.
All right, motion by Mr. Payne. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Ms. Reese. Any further discussion? Hearing none, call the roll, please.
Mr. Holloway?
Yes.
Mr. Payne?
Yes.
Ms. Reese?
Yes.
Mr. Robinson?
Yes. Item number 9, approve renewal contract with District Solutions for bus signs / advertising, attachment number 9. Dr. Simcox, I'm sorry.
I'm going to turn that over to Dr. Stephen Long.
So we entered into this partnership with District Solutions back in 2021. It has been, frankly, an uneventful partnership because it is truly a turnkey service. They recruit the businesses, they reach out to people and business entities and ask them if they would like to fund one of the advertisements and so on and so forth. You can see the contract before you is identical to the previous one in terms, which is a 55-45 split between the Johnson County School System and District Solutions. This is a company that it's what they do. So I'm just submitting it for your all's consideration for renewal. Since we partnered with them in November, let's see, we went active in November of 21, and to date, since November of 21, that has generated $19,346.25 to date. That money has been kept in the transportation budget as a set aside for the purchase of the activity van, which was, it was used towards that, the money at that time. It didn't cover it, but it was applied toward that. And our desire would be, should you choose to renew it, that we would continue that practice, that it would be set aside for activity vans. So I just submit that to you all for your consideration.
All right, hearing an explanation from Dr. Stephen Long, do I have a motion that we approve this?
Do we need that motion in the form where the money goes now, or does that go later? Or just put it all in one motion?
We can do it all in one motion.
Well, I'll make a motion, we approve it, and the money go to the activity van fund, right?
Is that, did I word that correctly, Tina, accurately?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it goes in the
Just wanted to
transportation
make sure that-
equipment line. Yes.
Just,
Transportation equipment line.
and then it's
is where
set
it's
up as a
being
reserve at the end of the year. All right, we have a motion for Mr. Payne. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
All right, second by Mr. Holloway. Any discussion? All right, I'm going to say my 2 cents about this, and then I'll move on. I think it is great that we use the money for the purpose that we use it for, but I personally have a hang-up that a private company uses a piece of equipment owned by the taxpayer to advertise on. Even though we do get some of that benefit, that private company is still getting the lion's share of that money, and I kind of have a problem with that, and that's my 2 cents about it. Is there any further discussion?
Do they supply the banners and everything? They do everything, right?
They recruit the business, create the banner, install the banner, remove the banner if the business comes off. It's, we have nothing in it other than we own the buses,
Okay.
operating the bus.
Have we heard any complaints or anything at all since they've been doing that?
Not
From
that
anyone?
it come to me, Mr. Garver.
No, we've had a lot of inquiries would like to advertise,
Okay,
and we've passed on the information of who we have that does our advertising for us, that puts the stickers on, but other than that, negative, no negative.
We've had everything from like Priceless Grocery to, the health department with an anti-vaping campaign. So we've done those types of things.
okay, thank you.
Any further discussion or questions or comments? All right, hearing none, call the roll, please.
Mr. Holloway,
Yes.
Mr. Payne,
Yes.
Ms. Reese,
Yes,
Mr. Robinson.
No. Moving on, item number 10, approved purchase of classroom furniture, filing cabinets for Mountain City Elementary expansion in the amount of $5,129.99 from School and Office Supply Incorporated, funding source ESSER 3.0. This is based on a state contract that is listed here, as well as an additional contract. Dr. Simcox.
Again, this is just for the purchase of, for the new classrooms, and it is out of ESSER 3, and it's not using any of the money we set aside, it's completely ESSER 3.
Hearing that explanation, do I have a motion that we approve this?
I make a motion to approve.
All right, a motion is made by Ms. Reese. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Second by Mr. Holloway. Any further discussion? Hearing none, call the roll, please.
Mr. Holloway,
Yes.
Mr. Payne,
Yes.
Ms. Reese,
Yes,
Mr. Robinson.
Yes. Item number 11, budget update.
Okay, in front of you, you have your summary financial statement for the month of January. Just a few highlights. The school department at the end of January was 24.7% of appropriations expended in general purpose, 48.6% of appropriations expended in federal projects, 53.3% of appropriations expended in central cafeteria, and Head Start, the fiscal year project, was 55.1%. Revenue totals for the month of January have not yet been received, so the only numbers that we currently have are the expenditures.
Thank you, ma'am. Do you want to do your report, or what do you want to do? All right, we're gonna go ahead and do a little deviation. We do have an addendum that's before us tonight, and we'll do the addendum, and then we'll come back and we'll pick up the director's report. Our addendum is approved the purchase of 4 Illusions 2.0 storage wall cabinets in the amount of $41,617.72 and 8 bulletin boards in the amount of $1,357.45 for the Mountain City Elementary expansion for a total of $42,975.17. From School and Office Supply Incorporated, funding source will be ESSER 3.0, referencing the same contract as what was referenced on the agenda. And I will turn this over to Dr. Simcox.
And sorry for the addendum. Ms. Triplett just got this information today. We wanted to go ahead and have an addendum so we can get this ordered. So it is just like the cabinets and the furniture. It's all out of ESSER 3. It's for the classrooms.
Hearing that explanation, do I have a motion for approval?
Yeah, I'll make a motion to approve it.
All right, we have a motion by Mr. Payne. Do I have a second?
I'll second that motion.
Second by Ms. Reese. Any further discussion?
How's the school coming?
I'm gonna show you.
Oh,
It's coming good.
good deal.
You read my mind.
Hold that thought for just a minute, Mr. Holloway. Any further discussion? Hearing none, call the roll, please.
Mr. Holloway,
Yes.
Mr. Payne.
Yes.
Ms. Reese.
Yes.
Mr. Robinson.
Yes. All right, now we'll move back to the director's report.
Since you asked, Mr. Holloway, Mountain City Elementary update. Just want to share just a few little highlighted pictures. This is the acoustical mountains that's in the graphics in the corridor, and I can't wait for you to see them because they are beautiful. I know Ms. Triplett could not be here tonight, but her and Ms. Robinson are both very, very excited about it. This is just a picture of the classroom. They've got the cabinets in. So you can imagine when we get the furniture in, it's just going to look and feel really, really good for our students. This is the corridor. So this is the old gym. So this is the hallway in the old gym. And you can sort of see the acoustical mountains on the side. And then I thought I had a slide. I must have moved it. But they are, I want to say it was 78% complete with a complete date now of May the 10th. So they are a little bit behind, but it's been because of the weather and getting workers here. So, and then just a little update on their roof. It's still going and proceeding as planned. So just wanted to show just a picture of that over the main classroom. They're working hard for that. Oh, there's my thing about Mountain City. Yeah, it was May 8th. I knew I had that on there. So it is 78.98% complete. So we are getting there. I also wanted to just say thank you to our principals and our assistant principals. Today is their day, and I know that their schools probably just had huge celebrations for them, and we do appreciate everything that they do. They work really hard to not only make sure that our students are successful, but that our employees are too in the building, and they have a very hard job, and we appreciate everything they do. I want to say thank you to the County Road Department and to the State Highway Department. They do a very good job in helping us. Dr. Long and Darwin are constantly in contact with Jeff and with Tracy about the roads, and they work so hard to make sure that they get the roads cleared. You know, sometimes it is hard because we do have a lot of very dangerous back roads that our buses and our kids travel on, but they have worked really hard for us, and I just wanted to say a thank you to them. And I did want to just give a little bit of information about the Remote Learning Day. This is a law that was passed last year from the Tennessee Department of Education. It allows school systems to use 2 remote days per semester. You can use 2 in the fall, 2 in the spring. But it's has to be for inclement weather or because you had other events requiring the closure of the school building. You know, if you had the flu or if something, a water leak or something, you could use 2 of those remote days. But there are guidelines, there are rules put in place by the law, by the Department of Education, not by Johnson County Schools. I want to stress that. One of the rules is we have to gain permission from the State Department prior to using. So it's not like we can say, oh, we'll wake up this morning, we're going to use a remote learning day. We have to have permission to use one of those 2 days. One of the things, and this just changed this week, we have to feed our kids. We have to feed them breakfast, we have to feed them lunch. The original guidelines were they have to go to their school. So if you have a Mountain City Elementary student, they have to go to their school, they have to go into the cafeteria, they have to sit in the cafeteria, and they have to eat. That changed as of Tuesday. Kathy got guidance on that. Now they're saying they will allow us to just do it from one site. So when we do have these remote learning days, we will utilize Mountain City Elementary because that's where the childcare happens when there's no school. So those kids are already there. They still have to, Kathy, am I right? They still have to come in and eat. They have to push their number in. It's not like a grab and go. The state won't allow that. They have to come in and eat. You have to, with that, remote instruction must be provided and no new material can be implemented on those days. And special education services have to be made available. That's the guidelines that the law and the State Department has put in for us. We are going to use one of those days to help gain back a snow day on March the 5th. March the 5th is election day, so we weren't going to be in school that day. We can't because we're a polling place. But we can't, I've gotten permission for us to use that as a remote learning day. So we will have breakfast and lunch that day. It will be offered at Mountain City. Breakfast will be from 8 to 9 a.m., lunch from 11 to 12. But please remember, parents, by law, your kid has to come in. They have to put their little number on the keypad and they have to eat there. Now again, they changed one of those guidelines this week. They may change it again. If they do, we will let you all know. So I just wanted to give some information about the remote learning day. And we have put that on our Facebook page. We've done a call out. The schools have put that out. But if you have any questions, just please feel free to call any of us. And I have asked Angie if it's okay, just to give a little update about the homeless ARP grant. I think there's been some questions about some things with it, so I asked her to give a little bit of a highlight.
Thank you. 3 years ago, we wrote the homeless ARP grant from the State Department, and that fund, that came out of all this federal ESSER money. It was just a set aside at the state level for homeless students, and we were lucky enough to receive that, and we have been able to offer a lot more services to our homeless population. We have about 55 students currently that are classified as homeless, and one of those things, you know, they have different struggles, and we try to meet, you know, whatever needs they have academically, if they need food, you know, clothing items, things like that. But one of the things, I don't know if you've been to the laundromat lately, but it takes about $7 to do a load of laundry. And so one of the things, I thought it was a great idea, I learned it from another district. They have a place that has a washer and a dryer that those families can come. It's it's supervised. And so I had wrote that into that grant, and we had just not been able to move forward on that. It took some time as far as planning and deciding, you know, where would be a good area. And it was Herbie's idea actually, that he felt like the old field house, the side that is right next to the guard shack, that's the old field house,
the
visitor side. Yeah, the middle school does utilize it now, but it's the visitor side, is my understanding. There was a space there that had a shower that would have a water hookup, and so the maintenance department started that this week, and they are fixing that space so that we can have one washer and one dryer. That again will be supervised by us. It'll only be used by our families that are homeless in the school system. It's not just a community wide place that people can go. But we do feel, you know, if you were one of those students and you didn't have the opportunity to do your laundry and you were coming to school every day and, you know, your clothes were dirty, that would bother you, and it bothers our kids. And we just, you know, we felt like that it was a good opportunity to try to do something to help that situation. And so that hopefully will be done in the next couple of weeks, and we'll be able to start offering that service for our families. And if you have any questions, I'd be happy to talk to you about it.
Thank you.
That's great.
Okay. Well, we have reached to that point of the agenda that I'll entertain a motion that we adjourn.
I make a motion to adjourn.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All right, folks, we are adjourned. Thank you.
Oh, somebody needs to